Who are the top 10 financial advisors in New Zealand? Let's go. Now, there are different types of financial advisors you need to know about. You've got budgeting, mortgages, insurance, shares, funds and investments. And we've scoured the country to find only the best in each category so we can officially hand out the Opie Awards for the top financial advisors across New Zealand. Now, you might think, Ed, but you guys at Opie's, you're financial advisors. You're just going to put yourself on the list. The truth is, we haven't. So even though we think our financial advisors here at Opie's and Catalyst are excellent, not a single one of them has made the list. That way, you know we're not being biased. So let's start handing out the Opie Awards, and we're going to do this in no particular order, but we're going to start with the budgeting and general advice category. First on our list is Hannah Mcqueen from Enable Me. Now, you may have heard of Hannah. She's written 3 books on how to manage your money and frequently appears on radio and TV. Now, Enable Me works a bit different to other advisors on this list. Hannah and her team will help you manage the money coming in and going out of your bank account, and they'll coach you to help you save more. Now, once you've got your money habits sorted, the team can then help you grow your wealth. Now, unlike some other advisors on this list, there is a cost to use Hannah's service. Her programs range from $3 to $12K in the first year and about $1.5 to just over $2K for every extra year. Next on our list in the budgeting and general category is Lisa Dudson from Acumen. Now, Lisa is also an author, having written the New Zealand Money Guide, the New Zealand Property Guide, and Winning the Money War. So she certainly knows her stuff. Now, it's important to mention, Lisa is not legally a financial advisor and isn't current on the Financial Services Register. Now, what does that mean? It means that she can't legally write you a personalised financial plan telling you which assets to buy and which ones to sell. But she can talk with you generally about money, how it's spent, and how to set goals. Now, she calls this being a financial sounding board, and she also helps people invest in new build investment properties. Now, what's it going to cost you to work with Lisa? Her financial sounding board service starts from $430 an hour, and the property investment program, it's about $3,500. Now, that's it for the budgeting category. Let's move our focus and give out the Opie Awards for mortgages and insurance. First in this category is Cam Marcroft from Loan Market, based in Auckland. Now, the way a mortgage advisor works is they will act as your representative to the banks and will help you choose the right bank for you. Now, interestingly, you often don't pay them directly for their service. Instead, if they can get you the money from the bank, they then earn a commission from the lender. That's why you often don't pay the mortgage advisor a single cent when working with them. And this is exactly how Cam works. Now, over the last year, he's helped Kiwis borrow more money from the banks than any other single advisor in the country, according to the NZ Advisor Awards. That's why he's on this list. Next on the list is April Hastelow from Become Wealth, and April is based in Christchurch. Now, the reason April gets an Opie Award is that she was named number 12 on the list of people who have helped Kiwis borrow the most money in 2022. And here at Opie's, we've also worked with April. We know her. And if you look through their Google reviews, there's a lot of 5 stars mentioning her, so she certainly does a good job. Another mortgage advisor that deserves an Opie, Darcy Ungaro from Ungaro & Co. Now, Darcy's a fellow podcaster who runs the Everyday Investor podcast, released both on podcast players and on YouTube. And even though Darcy is a mortgage advisor, the podcast is broad. It covers the whole spectrum of investments. Now, like most mortgage advisors on this list, yep, he focuses on home loans and insurance. However, Darcy also offers broad financial strategy and investment advice too. Now, where does that come from? Well, he's got that broad interest in investing, and that comes from the podcast. Now, if you're going to go down that financial strategy route, hey, it's going to cost about $370 an hour to work with Darcy. And we've got 2 more mortgage advisors who also deserve an Opie Award. And next up, John Bolton, or JB as we call him, from Squirrel. Now, Squirrel is the largest single office mortgage brokerage in the country, and they've got a whopping 32 advisors. Now, that does mean if you're going to choose to work with Squirrel, you're probably not going to be working with John directly. You're going to be working with one of the Squirrel team. Now, something a bit different about John's team is that the mortgage advisors don't get paid commission. Instead, they earn a salary. Now that means there's no financial incentive for the mortgage advisor to keep recommending that you take on more and more debt. Now they believe that this model makes the advice more impartial. Now they also have a dedicated Chinese and Indian speaking team, which means that if you speak one of these languages and prefer to converse in your native tongue, that could make John's team a really good option for you. And the last of the mortgage advisors who deserve it, Opie, Eugene Bartziken from Twine Financial Advisors. Now Eugene and his team are based on the North Shore in Auckland, and over the years he has collected many awards from the NZ Advisor Awards, including a Top Advisor Award, a Young Gun Award, and the Fastest Growing Brokerage Award. Now Eugene makes the list because I've personally seen the financial advice that he's given to our investors at Opie's Partners, and it's good. It's thorough, and it's some of the most clearly written I've ever seen in the industry. So that's the mortgage and insurance category. Let's move the focus and get into funds, shares, and other investments. The first top financial advisor in the investment category, Rick Parry from NZ Funds. Now, Rick is based in Christchurch, and let's talk about what it's actually like to work with an investment advisor. So you'll go in and see your investment advisor, talk about your goals and the amount of risk you're comfortable taking. Now, they'll then recommend what you should invest in. So that could be, for example, 50% of your money in an aggressive fund, a quarter in a growth fund, maybe another quarter in a conservative fund. You'll then sign off on those recommendations and invest the money. Now, typically, you don't actually pay the advisor directly for those recommendations. Instead, they'll earn a commission every year based on the amount of money you've invested in each fund. The next advisor deserving of an Opie is Pipa Hogg from BNZ. Now, she's a private banker based in Wellington, and it's very important to note that Pipa only works with investors who have $1 million or more to invest. So she's a really good fit for people who have already built their assets and have a decent net worth. Now, Pipa's service is a bit different to others we've mentioned. She operates a discretionary investment management service. Now, what does that mean? That means she'll get to understand your goals and the risk you're comfortable with taking, but then she and BNZ will invest on your behalf without you requiring to sign off on every single transaction they do. So it's a very passive way to invest. Now, Pipa is on this list because here at Opie's, we've had a lot of experience working with her in her previous roles, and we can vouch for her caliber as a financial advisor. And finally, we have Martin Hawes, who is the absolute father of financial advice in New Zealand. He has written an enormous 23 books covering everything from how to manage your money and how to invest it through to property investment and how to prepare for retirement. Now, it's important to mention, he has just decided to cancel his financial advisor license. Now, that means he's not available to write you a financial plan or tell you what to buy, tell you what to sell. But he makes this list because you need to know who he is, and you can still learn a lot from the books and the articles he puts out. And if you want another way to keep learning about money and property, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We release new videos every Monday and Wednesday to help you become a more successful property investor right here in New Zealand.